Good morning and welcome in, everybody. Before we get into this morning's update, I would like to first start out with thanking everybody for being here this morning. It is Thursday and we just got past the morning hour. Like in the USA, this is how it always works. If you're not from the USA, in the market, no matter how good or bad it looks, especially when we have a little bit of green in the market, once it gets to about 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, we have this little bit of a sell-off that seems to seamlessly happen every single day when the U.S. wakes up. Now, what you have to do is you've got to look deeper than what it looks like at the exact moment around 9 a.m. or 10 a.m., well, 9 a.m. in particular, because then you start to have that little bit of correction. Now, we have to come to an understanding of, is this correction long felt, or is this just the short-term consolidation where we have this short-term narrative that ends up being flipped as the day goes on? That is what every single day I feel like we have to start to debunk ourselves from the patterns, because it happens every single day. So with that being said, this morning, XRP, when I first got up, was at about $2.73, I want to say. $2.73. And then it's nothing major. It just came down a little bit. I know overnight it was higher than that. I'm just saying where I woke up, it was up a little bit higher. Right now, we got up to 274 roughly overnight, 274.8. Now, I mean, in the 3 hourly, we have a golden cross. In the 4 hourly, we're just about to have a golden cross. This could be an inverted hammer here. And there's only 33 minutes left in the candle. And that's important, because if it is, we came all the way up, and upon closure, we would want to try to close somewhere around $2.69.7. We want to be on the top side of that green, but we also don't want to make a newer low here. Otherwise, we're going to come back down here, and it's guaranteed if we do make a new low that we're going to come down here and retest the golden cross point. Even though we've already hit it here, you know, when it first had the potential to hold the 200, but if you come through here and make a new low, it's pretty standard basic operating procedure that it would come to 264. Now, in the next 33 minutes, if we can hold this and somehow close somewhere around 269.5 and higher, and it's not that far out of the realm, then we could start to get hot here initially, right off the next 4-hour candle. Algo's still stuck in the same spot. We talked about it last night during the live, if you were part of it. That Algo looks like it's getting ready for some kind of move here. IOTA looks like it's getting ready for some kind of move, but we haven't been able to push out yet. We even back tested this formation, but we haven't been able to get that surge as of yet to push us out from the potential breakout. Now, if it were to fall back down, the next opportune spot might be around 25 cents. When I look at it from a daily perspective, it does look like it's trying to work out a reversal. It just hasn't been able to do it. Hasn't been able to do it yet. We maintain under the 200-day, which is, you don't want to be under the 200-day. And then if you start looking at these in the weekly, we can see we've had these bullish crosses, but we've not yet pushed out. So we're looking for that volatile swing. So we'll see what the day has in store for us. And if you're interested in more on Algo and IOTA and some of the other ones, make sure you tune in at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we go through all the market. Right now, though, I would like to focus on XRP. We'll take a look at Bitcoin because it filled the CME gap at 97,400 and some change. So that's been filled. We showed it yesterday in the live. We'll take a look at the total 3 this morning, as the total 3 is the total crypto market cap minus Bitcoin and Ethereum. I have both of them on here. The total is above it at 3.14 trillion. But when you start to realize that over 2.2 trillion in this market is specifically designated to Bitcoin and Ethereum, while 893.9 billion has to be spread across the entire crypto market, starts to put it in perspective. It starts to put it in perspective what we're looking at this morning. So we're going to look at this ultra volatile setup here, and then we're going to try to come to a logical conclusion by the time this update's over. So good morning, 10:29 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Thursday, February 20th, 2025. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. And we'll go deep, do a deeper dive, during our live like we always do at night. We touch so many different cryptos. We get into the news. We get into all the optics that are developing through the day. and we get to do it all in one place. So I look forward to it tonight. I'll do a short while my son's at his therapy today. Not till that'll be about 12 noon. So we'll still have the short. We'll have this. And yeah, we're going to have to go about it the way we are. I'm interested in IOTA as well, looking at how it plays out. Right now, it's trying to push up a little bit, but we have to invalidate this dot cross in the daily. So we have to be very, very aware of what's going on here with the pattern. So I'm going to be very curious to see how this plays out this morning. I really, really am. Like, I'm really anxious to see how this plays out this morning. So what a time to be alive. XRP down 1.67%. Not quite come past that 279 pivot point. It's a big area of confliction that we've got to push past. It's nice to see that we're pushing into these golden cross areas. After this 4-hour candle close in about 29 minutes, assuming we stay above, we should confirm this golden cross in the 4-hourly. We've already had it happen in the 3-hourly. The 4-hourly is just right behind it. And look at this, the 50-day, as some will have the confirmation, when the 50 comes through the 200, we've got that confirmation in the 2-hour. The good news is the 50 came back through the 200, and now we traditionally have, because some don't like to just use the 20-day. Some like to use the 50-day to confirm it, coming through the 200, and that's happened in the 2-hourly now. So something looks to be brewing here with XRP. I don't even think it's just XRP. I think something's brewing in the whole crypto market here. And I'll be excited to take a deeper look at this later. I really will. I just wanted to take a quick look around town just to see where everything's at. We've got XRP Healthcare up about 11%. It's probably the best doer right now on our list. But we're still very much inside of the consolidation. And in fact, we still need to break back over to get into the higher zone above 13.5. If you're above 13.5 cents, you're in the higher zone and you can definitely make some noise. But we'll cover more on XRP Healthcare later tonight. One thing, and this is the crazy thing, if you guys are part of commodities, you want to talk about like the fact that earnings seem to mean nothing anymore. B2 Gold a few months ago had an earnings where it had an overzealous sell-off when on optics alone, if you go back in the chart, you know, I mean, in the past, it falls, it has bad earnings, and you would expect a dump off, right? It happened in the past. Well, this earnings is the worst I've ever seen, as they missed earnings, and I'm just covering this very briefly. We'll do this later tonight. They had very bad earnings. They missed by 81.8%, but as I talked about yesterday, it's not telling the whole story because the Mali mine was down and it's opening back up. There was a lot of things that were happening with jurisdiction in Canada, and they actually expanded a little bit, which is crazy. And I'm actually pretty surprised after that we're up 6% on B2 Gold, and now it pushed over the 200-day. Like, this is remarkable what's going on here. This almost leads me to believe that when we do earnings here in May, that something spectacular is going to happen in May. Or, I mean, March, not May. It's from the period of March, but they don't announce it till May. But it's the March period, so the first quarter. Something remarkable is likely going to happen in precious metals. Now, we'll see if we come up here and we tap this $2.91 or $3 and get rejected somewhere in this area, and then we start filling this all the way out. I mean, we'll see. But it's pretty remarkable when you start to see things like this, because they got slaughtered in earnings. So is this an overzealous push up? Will remain to be seen. We'll see how it looks tonight at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, but I at least wanted to show that for a second. But back to XRP, sitting at $2.69, and we are coming up to this break point here, folks. And we have this nice inverted hammer in the 4-hourly. Like, again, nothing looks bad here. Waking up right now, this doesn't look bad to me. This actually looks like an opportune moment potentially here. And yeah, it could tap 264 for where that recrosses on the pot, you know, the golden cross that it's waiting for. But remember, we already had an overzealous breakdown, back to support, and now that we've pulled back up in a V shape like we expected, we even talked about if it came down to $2.49 and tapped that area, which would actually redefine the uptrend before the breakout. and it back tested that past uptrend, that we would have likely a V-shaped recovery, and that's exactly what happened. That's about as close to a V-shape as you could come with it being a V-shape. I mean, it's a V-shape. Also looks like a little bit of a bull flag has formed here on this right side of the V, which this is good. I like waking up this morning and watching the charts for a little bit and seeing what's going on. I like seeing this. Yes, I understand it could tap there still, but I like seeing this. Because this would give you a breakout target that would tap us around that $2.98 zone. So if we break out, that's where I circle, because that's where I anticipate the first target to be. And then overall, if we can push past it, we've got that $3.27, which was off a descending wedge. That's not the overall pattern, which tonight we'll talk a little bit deeper, as some have shared, with the rising formation that's happened since roughly early December. And we'll go into that deeper during the live. I want to share that with everybody in the live, that side of town as well. But I want to focus on the immediate pattern right now and see exactly how this transpires. Does this end up staying as an inverted hammer, not creating a new low from the candle before, and then it volatilely bounces out after we stay above $2.69.5 approximately? Or does it make a new low, have to confirm the 4-hour golden cross that's pending, and have to come down about 5 cents here? Either way, nothing bad, but I would love to see this inverted hammer hang on here, because that, literally on an inverted hammer, you go up, and then you come all the way back down to retest the breakout area, and then you want to close higher than but this is where it can get tricky, because if this does pull down a little bit farther in the next 40 minutes, or 23 minutes, it could start to, change opinion a little bit. So I'd like to see it hang on here. I would like to see it hang on. I would like to see the market hang on here this morning. We've got some volatility, but at the same time, now that we're getting into the trading hours for the USA, it seems to be a pretty similar thing that we see every single day. Even if the rest of the world props it up, our own government manipulates it. So remember, though, the key thing here is we had $400 million yesterday printed by the Tether Treasury. What was it, on Binance? Can't remember which one. But it was on an exchange yesterday. USDT, they printed $400 million by the Tether Treasury, which means just like the US dollar, it's basically printed out of thin air. Basically out of thin air. So that's the truth. It's not on here, but yeah, that's what happened yesterday. So it definitely would push in the at least the optics of a rally here. It seems like we should be setting up for something. Is it going to happen? Who knows? With the manipulation that's happened, we took out that CME gap, which sucks now. But we do have an inverted hammer in the 4-hourly on Bitcoin as well. And this is how we have to level up here. We would have to do this and push up appropriately. And we've got this nice reversal here. Perfect double bottom. And it does seem like we should start pushing out here towards that 114K. It's just we've got a lot of damage ahead of us. We've just made so many levels here. But we really should start pushing up. If this is a cup and handle, now we're on the outside of the handle, we should be pushing up to our cycle target. And that's around 122,000. So that should be starting to happen, assuming that this doesn't break down. But with the manipulation in crypto, it's incredible. You guys seen this morning, it ran to 98,000 for Bitcoin. And then immediately fell back below the CME at 97,480 roughly. So, and that's the Chicago Mercantile Exchange. If you don't know what a CME gap is, it's a gap between the closing price and the opening price on the weekend, basically, is what happened. Which just means you come and fill it. And now that we filled it, now it brings that volatility into play. The total 3 before I leave, very much within this formation still. This descending, call it descending triangle. You could call it a little channel that we've seen here that formed. Or it's wider, but as long as we're in this zone, and remember the total 3, that's minusing Bitcoin and Ethereum. So when you look at the total crypto market cap, a lot of people are like, oh, it's a $3.1 trillion market cap. Not technically true, because you've got Bitcoin and Ethereum that controls over $2.2 trillion. And then all other crypto, 30, 40,000 projects have to manipulate or use $890 billion for every other project. So $2.2 million or $2.2 trillion is tied up in Bitcoin and Ethereum. 891 billion is tied up in all of the rest of crypto. That is not a winning formula for utility right now. It's not. You can't have $2.2 trillion out of 3.1 in two assets. It's impossible to make this market go where we want like this. Now, can we break out of here? Can we start to command more in the alt section outside of Bitcoin? Sure we can. But it's going to take us breaking that 950 billion area and start pushing out towards 1.07 trillion. We need to start defining some of this cap. But we've got to break out of this consolidation. And this can take us until almost the end of March if we want to keep dicking in here. But you usually break out 70% of the move, which would be this push up right now. If it pushes up now and hits 950 and gets rejected, it's going to be a little struggle. But to me, it looks like we want to break out. It's just the best way I can just say it is there's just so much manipulation in this market that you just got to be transparent. You just got to stay ahead of it and just not let the emotion kind of slap you down here. And right now I know it's hard because so much money is in the crypto market, but not much of it finds its way to many of the alt section. When you look at the total crypto market cap from this perspective, I don't know what happened there. Must have been looking on my phone. But at first you had something, you could look at something like that. But then it expanded out. So there's no reason to even really look at it that way. Except for the fact that you could get a better understanding. Like, okay, do we need to come all the way back down there? Well, it doesn't necessarily have to, but you'd have to break back over this resistance. So now we found ourselves in the total crypto market cap where we've got to get back over 3.29 trillion. So is it likely we come back up there and retest, or, well, it's not 3 point, let's see. Would have been something like this before we had the fallout. So, I mean, you'd have to come back up here and break back above this, but that was a rising wedge. And we knew that in the total crypto market cap initially. So coming back down and reestablishing support into more of like a falling channel is better than being in a rising wedge. But now we got to get back up towards the top. So we'll see how this plays out. I could also say it was something like this. And it might be more appropriate, like almost like a sideways channel. But there's a bunch of ways to look at this. That's why there's no 100% way. Once the pattern starts filling out, you got to stay in front of it. But I'm more interested in the total 3 for the alt market. But right now, we're doing exactly what we do every morning. They play with our emotions, and we just kind of got to get past it. So I'm XRP Future Millionaire. If you appreciate my work, subscribe to the channel and join the over 31,200 subscribers. Pay attention to the XRP Bitcoin pairing because it's still suggesting we bottomed against Bitcoin. In the weekly time frame, we have that golden cross where we back tested the golden cross, the 20 cross, and the 50. And now we're working on the 50 trying to pull up here. And if that comes through the 200, that's your ultra confirmation. But the back test to me is my confirmation. And how volatilely we broke out. Perfect reversal candle in the last weekly. Now this weekly candle looks like it wants to surge. The problem is we're coming into the weekend. And I think a lot of people are going to have that negative optics. But I think this might be that weekend with the printing of from the Tether Treasury where we've had 9 straight weekends where we went down. Now, because it's been 9 straight weekends, they've conditioned us to think every weekend's going to go down. This will probably be the weekend that powers out. Now, I can't say anything concrete because I don't know how it's going to play out today and tomorrow. But this could be the week where we may not have that big dramatic drop. Because we're going to have to get hot here before the end of the month. You have to. Every end of the month. If you're going to get hot, you do it the week leading into it. And then like for XRP's sake, because we have the escrow dump, we've got to make some noise now. So I'm looking for some upward volatility. Would I be shocked if the market crashed? No. But I'm still looking for that upward volatility, and the market's going to have to prove it opposite. To me, that's where I'm at right now. If you want to join my Telegram, just look in the video description below of this video or a pinned comment of this video, and it's free. We've got a great group in here. It took me 2 years to get all the shady actors out, and I wasn't really a part of it. I had a bunch of stuff that I had built in here, but we had a lot of bad actors trying to ruin it. So for 2 years, I consolidated this, and now over time, I've allowed people to come in. We've got 180 members again, but there is no second chance. There is no second chance. If you join my Telegram and you are not a part of the light and you are a dick and you want to be, you know, you're not humble or show humility and you rag on people, you don't get a second chance in here. You get one chance. You come in here, you be part of the team, or you don't, and I kick you out. I tried chances last time and it ruined everything. There is no chances. So you either come in here with good spirit and a good mindset, or you get out. And there's no two ways about it. It's a fantastic group. If you don't know what you're doing, there's so many things you can go through in here that I'm going to start to do again with some of it. Like I had terminology back in 2023 that I had built up, a ton of it. And like I said, bad actors ruined everything, but there's so much stuff to learn in here that I had built so many different things, so many different ways of looking at this. And now Nick is in here as well. So if you like Nick's charts, when we talk about it in the lives, you can see what he's talking about, the fair value gaps, and what he's talking about, the other things that he speaks of in our lives. Like there's different ways to be able to communicate with all of us now. And it's free. It's free. All you have to do is bring in your good integrity. If you don't have integrity, don't come in. If you have integrity, I want you, because I'll just kick you out if you lack the integrity. I'm not afraid to do that. So have a blessed day. If you're looking to trade crypto, go to my video description below and or pinned comments of this video. Or if you'd like to go to my homepage, all you have to do is click on the links. BITUNIX is where I like to trade my assets because it's the lowest spot and leverage trading fees, lowest maker-taker fee. And I oftentimes will send my asset, if I'm looking to sell, I'll send it off another exchange or from a wallet, and I'll send it to BITUNIX to sell and or buy and send it back to the wallet or another exchange because it's cheaper. Crypto.com has my DGB and a whole bunch of other things that I like. But a lot of that got sent from BITUNIX. If they had the asset, I would buy it on BITUNIX and send it there so I didn't have to incur the fee. So play the game that they give us. There's no KYC on BITUNIX. It's not a VPN. You don't need it worldwide. They have XRP and so many other things. Then if you want to send a donation, you can Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, YouTube Super Chat, and join Tom's Army. But honestly, none of that's required. All I need is for you to hit that like button, share my content, and allow me to push through the algorithm. That's it. Have a blessed day, everybody. And until we meet again, which will be very quickly, have a good day.